"Sir, your son gave me this shirt yesterday." What the boy revealed next shocked the millionaire. He came to the cemetery only to leave flowers, but what he found waiting at his son's grave left him speechless. A little boy wearing the same shirt his son was buried in. And when the boy Zero sat a note jumped to whispered, "Sir, your son gave me this shirt yesterday." The millionaire's world stopped. At first, he thought it was a cruel trick, until the boy said things no stranger could ever know. That moment would uncover the truth behind a single box of forgotten clothes and give a grieving father one last chance to feel alive again. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments what time is it and where are you watching from. Let's start. Marcus Bennett stood in the rain. He didn't care that his dark gray suit was getting wet. He didn't care that his black tie hung crooked. He didn't even care that his expensive shoes were sinking into the mud. He only cared about the name carved into gray stone in front of him. Oliver Bennett, beloved son, gone too soon. 2 years. It had been 2 whole years since the accident. 2 years since Marcus heard his son laugh. 2 years since he tucked Oliver into bed and said goodnight. 2 years felt like yesterday. 2 years felt like forever. Marcus came here every week. Same day, same time. He would stand here and talk to the stone like Oliver could still hear him. He would tell him about work, about the empty house, about how much he missed him. Today, Marcus didn't talk. He just stood there, letting the rain mix with his tears. That's when he saw it, a flash of dark blue between the gravestones. Marcus blinked. His heart stopped. A small boy was walking through the cemetery. He looked about 6 years old. He had brown skin and curly black hair that bounced when he walked. But that wasn't what made Marcus freeze. The boy was wearing a navy blue shirt covered in white stars. The exact same shirt Oliver wore in his last school picture. The exact same shirt Marcus had burned into his memory. Dark navy blue. White stars scattered everywhere. Some stars big, some stars small. Just like a night sky. Marcus's legs felt weak. His hands shook. "No," he whispered. "That's impossible." The boy walked closer. He wasn't looking at Marcus. He was looking at Oliver's grave. His small fingers traced the letters carved in stone. "O-L-I-V-R," the boy read slowly. "Oliver, that's a nice name." Marcus couldn't breathe. He couldn't move. He could only stare at that shirt with the white stars. "Where did you get that shirt?" Marcus's voice came out rough and broken. The boy looked up. His big brown eyes were innocent and curious. "This shirt." The boy touched the navy fabric. "The nice man gave it to me." "What nice man?" Marcus stepped closer. His heart was pounding so hard it hurt. "The man for my dreams," the boy said simply, like it was the most normal thing in the world. "He said his daddy would be here. He said his daddy needed to see me." The cemetery spun around Marcus. He grabbed a nearby gravestone to keep from falling. What did this man look like? The boy tilted his head. He had brown hair and green eyes like grass, and he smiled a lot. He said his name was Oliver. Marcus couldn't breathe. Oliver had brown hair. Oliver had green eyes. Oliver smiled all the time. But Oliver was dead. "That's not possible," Marcus said. His voice sounded far away. "You're lying. Someone put you up to this." "Who sent you here?" The boy's eyes got sad. "Nobody sent me, mister." "Oliver did. In my dreams. He comes every night. He tells me stories. He says his daddy is very sad. He says his daddy forgot how to smile." Tears burned Marcus's eyes. That was true. He hadn't really smiled in 2 years. Not since the accident. "Oliver told me to find the box," the boy continued. "The box by the old church. He said this shirt was in there. He said I should wear it. He said you would see me and remember." "Remember what?" Marcus whispered. "Remember that love doesn't die," the boy said. His voice was soft but sure. "Even when people go away, love stays. Oliver said you forgot that." Marcus dropped to his knees in the wet grass. He was crying now, really crying. His whole body shook. The boy walked closer. He was so small. The star-covered shirt hung loose on him. Too big, just like it would be if it really was Oliver's shirt. "How do you know these things?" Marcus asked. "How do you know about Oliver?" He tells me. The boy sat down in the grass next to Marcus. He tells me lots of things. He said you used to read him bedtime stories. His favorite was about the dragon and the knight. He said you always did funny voices. Marcus's breath caught. That was true. Every night, Marcus read Oliver that story. Every night. He made silly dragon voices that made Oliver giggle. Nobody knew that. Nobody but Marcus and Oliver. He said you hide a photo in your wallet. The boy added, behind your credit cards. A photo of him eating ice cream. He got chocolate all over his nose. You took that picture at the beach. Marcus's hands trembled as he pulled out his wallet. Behind his credit cards, exactly where the boy said, was the photo, Oliver at the beach. Chocolate ice cream on his nose. Smiling so big his eyes crinkled. The wallet slipped from Marcus's fingers. Who are you? Marcus breathed. My name is Tommy. The boy said, I live with my mama. We don't have much. But Oliver said you would help us. He said you have a big heart. You just forgot where you put it. Marcus stared at the strange boy in his dead son's shirt. Nothing made sense. Everything was impossible. But somehow, impossibly, this boy knew things he couldn't know. The box, Marcus said. You said there's a box by the old church? Tommy nodded. Oliver said you would ask about that. He said to tell you it's behind the church. The one on Maple Street. The one with the red door. There's a donation bin there. That's where the box is. Marcus knew that church. He and his wife used to go there. Before Oliver died. Before everything fell apart. What's in the box? Marcus asked. Memories. Tommy said, Oliver's things. His clothes. His toys. And a note. Oliver said you wrote the note. He said it says, never stop smiling. He said you need to read it again. Marcus remembered that note. He wrote it for Oliver's birthday, 2 months before the accident. He tucked it into Oliver's toy box. But after Oliver died, Marcus couldn't look at those things. His wife had packed everything away. She must have donated it. Marcus had been too lost in grief to even notice. Oliver said one more thing. Tommy said quietly. He looked up at Marcus with those big, serious eyes. He said to tell you he's okay. He said heaven has the best playground ever. And he's not scared anymore. And he doesn't want you to be scared either. A sob burst from Marcus's chest. He covered his face with his hands. Oliver used to be scared of the dark. Every night, Marcus had to check the closet for monsters. Every night, he had to promise Oliver he was safe. And then the accident happened. And Marcus couldn't protect him. Marcus couldn't keep him safe. He said, you think it's your fault? Tommy whispered. But it's not. The accident just happened. You're a good daddy. The best daddy. Marcus pulled this strange boy into a hug. He held him tight and cried into that star-covered shirt. The shirt smelled like laundry soap and sunshine. Not like Oliver. But somehow, it felt like Oliver was there. Thank you, Marcus whispered. Thank you for telling me. When he finally let go, Tommy stood up. His pants had wet grass stains now. His old gray sneakers were muddy. I have to go home now, Tommy said. Mama will worry. Wait, Marcus said. He stood up too. Can I see you again? Can we talk more? Tommy smiled. Oliver said you would want that. He said to meet him by the lake. The park where you used to play. Tomorrow, when the sun is high. The lake? Marcus's voice cracked. Riverside Park. Tommy nodded. Oliver will send more messages. Through me, in my dreams. He has lots to tell you. The boy turned to walk away. Tommy. Marcus called. Your mother. What's her name? Where do you live? Tommy looked back over his shoulder. The white stars on his shirt seemed to glow in the gray afternoon light. Her name is Sarah. We live at the laundromat shelter on 4th Street. Oliver said you'll find us when you're ready. Then he was gone, walking between the gravestones, disappearing into the rain. Marcus stood there, frozen. His mind was spinning. His heart was racing. None of this made sense. But deep in his chest, something warm flickered, something he hadn't felt in 2 years. Hope. Marcus looked down at Oliver's grave one more time. Is it really you? He whispered. Are you really sending me messages? The rain poured down. The wind whistled through the trees. And somewhere, Marcus swore he heard a child's laughter. Soft, sweet, familiar. He had to find that box. He had to know the truth. Marcus turned and ran through the cemetery toward his car. His expensive shoes splashed through puddles. His suit was ruined. He didn't care. For the first time in 2 years, Marcus Bennett had somewhere to go. Someone was waiting for him, even if that someone was impossible. Marcus drove through the rain like a man possessed. His hands gripped the steering wheel, so tight his knuckles turned white. His heart hammered in his chest. His mind wouldn't stop spinning. A boy in Oliver's shirt. A boy who knew impossible things. A boy who said Oliver sent him. It was crazy. All of it was crazy. But Marcus had to know the truth. The church on Maple Street looked different than he remembered. Smaller, sadder. The red door was faded now. Paint peeled off in chunks. Weeds grew thick around the steps. Marcus hadn't been here since the funeral. Since the day they buried Oliver. Since the day his whole world ended. He parked and jumped out of the car. Rain soaked through his already wet suit. He ran around the back of the church. There, behind a rusty dumpster, a large metal donation bin. Marcus's heart pounded. His hands shook as he lifted the heavy lid. Inside were bags and boxes. Clothes, toys, books, things people didn't want anymore. Things they threw away. Marcus dug through the pile. His expensive suit got dirty. His white shirt turned gray. He didn't care. Then he saw it. A cardboard box. Dusty, water-stained, falling apart at the corners. Written on the side in his wife's handwriting. Oliver's things. Marcus pulled the box out. He set it on the wet ground. For a long moment, he just stared at it. He wasn't sure he could do this. Opening this box meant facing everything. All the pain. All the memories. All the love that had nowhere to go. Oliver, Marcus whispered, if you're really out there, if you really sent that boy, give me strength. The wind whistled. The rain poured. Marcus opened the box. Inside was Oliver's whole life, packed away like trash. His favorite stuffed bear with one eye missing. Marcus won that bear at the county fair. Oliver slept with it every single night. His toy cars, 20 of them, all different colors. Oliver used to line them up and race them across the kitchen floor. His books, Where the Wild Things Are, The Giving Tree, The Dragon and the Knight, The Dragon Story, the one Marcus read every bedtime. And clothes, so many little clothes, blue jeans with grass stains, T-shirts with cartoon characters, a red jacket Oliver wore on cold days, and there, folded carefully at the bottom, was another shirt, navy blue, white stars scattered everywhere, the exact same as the one Tommy wore. Marcus picked it up with trembling hands. He held it to his face. It didn't smell like Oliver anymore, just cardboard and dust. But Marcus could almost feel his son, almost hear his laugh. Underneath the shirt was a piece of paper, yellow, wrinkled, written in Marcus's own handwriting. Dear Oliver, today you turn 6 years old. 6. I can't believe how big you're getting. Soon you'll be taller than me. I want you to know something important. No matter what happens in life, never stop smiling. Your smile makes the whole world brighter. Your smile makes me braver. Your smile reminds me what love looks like. Keep smiling, buddy. Even when things get hard. Even when you're scared. Even when you're sad. Because your smile is magic. Love forever and always, Dad. Marcus's vision blurred. Tears splashed onto the yellow paper. He remembered writing this. Oliver's 6th birthday. 3 months before the accident. 3 months before everything shattered. Never stop smiling, Marcus read out loud. His voice broke. But I did stop, Oliver. I forgot how. I forgot how to be happy. I forgot how to live. That's why he sent me. Marcus spun around. Tommy stood there. His curly hair was wet from rain. His star-covered shirt clung to his small body. His brown pants had new mud stains. How did you know I was here? Marcus asked. Oliver told me in my dream last night. Tommy said simply. He walked closer. He said he would find the box. He said you would cry. He said that's okay. Crying helps the hurt come out. Marcus wiped his eyes. Who are you really? How is this possible? Tommy sat down on the wet ground next to the box. He touched Oliver's stuffed bear gently. I don't know, Tommy admitted. I just know Oliver comes to me when I sleep. He's nice. He tells me stories. He says he watches his daddy from up in the stars. He says you're lonely. I am lonely, Marcus whispered. So lonely it hurts. Me too, Tommy said quietly. My daddy left when I was little. It's just me and Mama now. We don't have much money. We live in one room at the shelter. But Mama works really hard. She cleans clothes at the laundromat. Her hands hurt at night from all the washing. Marcus's heart twisted. This little boy had so little, and yet he was so kind, so open, so full of light, just like Oliver. Oliver said you could help us, Tommy continued. But he said you had to want to. He said you had to remember that love means helping people, not just keeping money in a bank. Marcus flinched. That was true. After Oliver died, Marcus threw himself into work. He made more money than he could ever spend. But what good was money when you had nobody to spend it on? Where's your mother now? Marcus asked. At work. The laundromat on 4th Street. The one that helps people who don't have homes. She's there every day. Morning until night. She's tired all the time. Marcus remembered what it was like to be tired. After Oliver died, tired wasn't even the right word. Exhausted. Empty. Broken. Take me to her, Marcus said suddenly. I want to meet your mother. Tommy's face lit up. Really? Really? Marcus stood and carefully packed Oliver's things back into the box. The bear, the cars, the books, the note, but he left one star-covered shirt out. Keep this, Marcus said, handing it to Tommy. Oliver wanted you to have it. Tommy hugged the shirt tight. Thank you, mister. Call me Marcus. Thank you, Marcus. They drove through the rain together. Tommy sat in the passenger seat, too small to see out the window properly. He swung his legs and hummed a happy tune. Marcus glanced over at him, at this mysterious boy who appeared out of nowhere, this boy who wore his son's shirt and spoke his son's words. Was it real? Was Oliver really sending messages? Marcus didn't know, but something felt right about this. Something felt like purpose, like a path forward through the darkness. The laundromat was in a rough part of town. Marcus had never been here before. The building was old and gray. Windows were cracked. The sign barely worked. But inside it was warm and bright. Washing machines hummed. Dryers spun. The smell of clean soap filled the air. A woman stood folding towels at a long table. She was young, maybe 30. She had dark skin and tired eyes. Her hair was pulled back in a bun. She wore a faded yellow cleaning uniform that had seen better days. Her brown jacket hung on a nearby chair, patches visible on both elbows. Mama. Tommy ran to her. The woman looked up. When she saw Tommy, her whole face changed. The tiredness melted away. Love poured out her eyes. Tommy, baby, where have you been? I've been so worried. She hugged him tight. I was at the cemetery, like I told you, to see Oliver's daddy. Tommy pointed at Marcus. This is him. This is Marcus. The woman's eyes went wide. She looked at Marcus, then at Tommy, then back at Marcus. I'm so sorry, she said quickly. Her voice was nervous. Tommy has been talking about dreams and messages, and I know it sounds crazy. I tried to stop him from bothering you. He just slipped away this morning before I could. It's okay, Marcus interrupted gently. He didn't bother me. He helped me. Sarah blinked. Helped you? Marcus stepped closer. He saw her hands, red and raw from washing, cracked at the knuckles, working hands, struggling hands, hands like his own mother had years ago, before Marcus made his money. Your son told me things today, Marcus said softly. Things about my son. Things nobody else could know. I don't understand it. I can't explain it. But I believe him. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. He's been having these dreams for 2 months now. Every night. A boy with green eyes and brown hair. The boy tells him stories, tells him about his daddy, tells him to be brave. Tommy draws pictures of him. He talks about him constantly. I thought he was just lonely, making up an imaginary friend. What if he's not making it up? Marcus asked. Sarah looked at her son. Tommy was holding the star-covered shirt, smiling up at both of them. Oliver said his daddy would help us. Tommy said confidently. He said his daddy has a big heart. He just needed to remember where he put it. Marcus laughed. It was a small laugh, broken and rusty from not being used. But it was real. My son used to say things like that. Marcus said, wise things, things that made me think. Oliver's really smart, Tommy agreed. He knows everything. Sarah wiped her eyes. Sir, Marcus, we don't need charity. We're doing okay. I work hard. I take care of my boy. We'll be fine. Marcus heard the pride in her voice, the strength. She was like him, trying so hard to keep going, trying so hard to be enough. It's not charity, Marcus said quietly. It's connection. Your son connected me to mine. The least I can do is say thank you. Sarah studied his face, looking for lies, looking for pity. But Marcus kept his expression honest, open. Finally, she nodded. Okay, thank you. Oliver said one more thing. Tommy piped up. He said, tomorrow we should all go to the park, the one by the lake. He said you used to play there, Marcus. He said we should play there too. He said it's time. Marcus's breath caught. Riverside Park, where he used to take Oliver every Saturday. They would feed the ducks, climb the trees, run through the grass. Marcus hadn't been back since the accident. Couldn't bear it. Time for what? Sarah asked softly. Tommy looked up at Marcus with those big, knowing eyes. Time to smile again. Saturday morning arrived with sunshine. Marcus stood in front of his closet. He stared at his dark gray suits, his black ties, his funeral clothes. Today felt different. Today needed to be different. He reached past the dark colors, found an old blue sweater buried in the back. Oliver used to say it made Marcus look like the sky. Marcus put on. It felt strange, like wearing hope. He drove to Riverside Park with his windows down. Fresh air rushed in. Birds sang. The world felt alive in a way Marcus had forgotten. When did I stop noticing birds? He wondered. When did I stop feeling the sunshine? The park hadn't changed. The same tall trees. The same sparkling lake. The same wooden bridge where Marcus and Oliver used to throw stones into the water. But Marcus had changed. He felt it in his bones. Something was shifting. Something was waking up inside him. Tommy and Sarah waited by the playground. Tommy wore his star-covered shirt again. Sarah wore a simple green dress. She looked nervous but hopeful. You came, Sarah said softly. I came, Marcus replied. Tommy grabbed Marcus's hand. His little fingers were warm and trusting. Oliver said to go to the big tree first. Tommy announced, the one with the tire swing. He said that was your special spot. Marcus's heart squeezed. The oak tree, the oldest tree in the park. Marcus had pushed Oliver on that tire swing 100 times, maybe 1,000. Higher, Daddy, higher. Oliver's voice echoed in Marcus's memory. They walked together. Tommy skipped ahead. Sarah walked beside Marcus. Neither of them spoke. Sometimes silence said more than words. The oak tree stood massive and strong. Its branches reached toward the clouds. The tire swing still hung there, swaying gently in the breeze. Oliver loved this swing, Marcus said quietly. He would swing for hours. He said it made him feel like he was flying. Tommy loved swings too, Sarah said. But the shelter doesn't have a playground. We come here sometimes, when I have a day off. It's not very often. Marcus watched Tommy run to the swing. The boy climbed on and started pumping his legs. Push me, Marcus. Push me like you pushed Oliver. Marcus's feet felt frozen. He hadn't pushed anyone on a swing since that last Saturday before the accident, before everything ended. It's okay, Sarah said gently. Take your time. But Tommy looked back over his shoulder. His eyes were bright and encouraging. Oliver says you can do it. He says it's like riding a bike. You never forget how to push someone you love. Someone you love. Marcus walked forward. His legs felt heavy. His heart felt heavier. He put his hands on the tire, gave a small push. Tommy laughed. Higher. Another push. Bigger this time. Higher, Daddy. Higher. Marcus froze. Tommy had called him Daddy. The boy twisted around on the swing. His face went pink. Sorry, I meant Marcus. Oliver he always calls you Daddy in my dreams. It slipped out. But something broke inside Marcus. Something hard and cold and painful. It cracked like ice in spring. And underneath was warmth, was feeling, was love that had been locked away. Marcus pushed the swing again. And again. And again. Tommy's laughter filled the air, pure and joyful and alive. And Marcus started to cry. But he was smiling too, crying and smiling at the same time. Sarah stood nearby, tears running down her own face. This is what healing looks like, she whispered. After the swing, they walked to the lake. Ducks swam in lazy circles. The water sparkled like diamonds. Tommy found a dandelion, the fluffy white kind, the kind you blow wishes on. Oliver says to make a wish, Tommy said. He held the dandelion up to Marcus. He says to wish for something real, not for him to come back. That can't happen. But something else, something possible. Marcus took the dandelion. Its stem was thin and delicate. The white seeds trembled in the breeze. What did he wish for? For 2 years, Marcus had wished the same thing every single day. For Oliver to come back. For time to reverse. For the accident to unhappen. But Tommy was right. That couldn't happen. No matter how much it hurt. No matter how much he missed his son. What else was there? Marcus looked at Tommy. At this brave little boy who had lost his father but still smiled. Who lived in a shelter but still found joy. Who wore a stranger's dead son's shirt and brought messages of love. He looked at Sarah. At this strong woman who worked until her hands bled. Who loved her son fiercely. Who kept going even when life was hard. He thought about Oliver. About green eyes and brown hair. About bedtime stories and chocolate ice cream. About laughter that made the whole world brighter. Never stop smiling. That's what Marcus had written. That's what he had told Oliver. But Marcus had stopped smiling. He had stopped living. He had locked his heart away and thrown away the key. Until a boy in a star-covered shirt found it. Marcus closed his eyes, made his wish, blew the dandelion seeds into the wind. They scattered like tiny stars, dancing through the air, carried by the breeze, flying toward the sky, toward heaven, toward Oliver. What did you wish for? Tommy asked. Marcus smiled. A real smile. The first real smile in 2 years. I wish the courage to live again, Marcus said. To honor my son by choosing joy, by helping people, by loving hard and laughing loud, by being the kind of man Oliver will be proud of. Tommy grinned. Oliver says that's a perfect wish. Sarah stepped closer. She put her hand on Marcus's arm. Thank you, she said, for today, for being kind to us, for trusting Tommy's strange dreams, for being here. Thank you, Marcus said. You don't know what you've given me. You and Tommy. You brought my son back. Not his body, not his life, but his love, his spirit, his message. What was his message? Sarah asked. Marcus looked at Tommy, at the star-covered shirt, at the dandelion seeds still floating through the air. That love doesn't die, Marcus said. Even when people go away, love stays. It finds new paths, new people, new ways to shine. Oliver's love led me to you, to Tommy, to this moment, and I'll never waste it. Tommy hugged Marcus tight. Then Sarah joined in. The three of them stood by the lake, holding each other. 3 broken people putting their pieces back together. Can we come back here next Saturday? Tommy asked. All of us. Marcus laughed, really laughed, deep and true and free. Every Saturday, he promised. Every single Saturday. As they walked back to the parking lot, Marcus felt different, lighter, like he'd been carrying a boulder and finally set it down. The grief wasn't gone. It would never be gone. Oliver was still dead. That pain would always exist. But now there was something else too. Something new growing alongside the pain. Hope, purpose, connection, love. That night, Marcus went back to the cemetery, back to Oliver's grave. But this time he didn't cry. He smiled. "Thank you, buddy," Marcus whispered to the stone. "Thank you for sending Tommy. Thank you for reminding me how to live. I promise I won't waste it. I promise I'll make you proud." The wind rustled through the trees, gentle and warm, and Marcus swore he heard it, just for a moment, just barely, a child's voice on the wind. "I love you, Daddy." Marcus touched the gravestone one last time. Then he turned and walked away, not leaving Oliver behind. Never that, but walking forward, toward life, toward light, toward love, toward Saturday mornings at the park, toward laughter and dandelions and tire swings, toward a little boy in a star-covered shirt, toward healing. 3 months later, Marcus helped Sarah find a real apartment, not charity, a job. Sarah now managed a laundry business Marcus invested in. She earned a good salary, had benefits, had dignity. Tommy started at a new school. He wore different clothes now, new clothes, but he kept the star-covered shirt, hung it in his closet like treasure. Every Saturday, the three of them met at Riverside Park. They fed the ducks, pushed swings, made wishes on dandelions. And Marcus laughed, really laughed, the kind of laughter that came from deep in the soul, the kind Oliver used to have. One night, Tommy stopped having the dreams. Oliver stopped visiting. His messages ended. Tommy was sad at first, but then he smiled. Oliver said goodbye. Tommy explained. He said his daddy was okay now. He said his job was done. He said he loves you forever. Marcus hugged Tommy tight. "Tell him I love him too," Marcus whispered. "Every single day, forever and always." And life went on, beautiful and painful and real, because love doesn't die. It just changes shape. Sometimes it's a hug from your child. Sometimes it's a dream sent from heaven. Sometimes it's a little boy in a star-covered shirt. But it's always there, always real, always worth holding on to. Marcus learned that, finally learned it, and he never forgot again. The Yandy sparkles of the story touched your heart. Sparkles. We all carry grief. We all know loss. But we also all carry love. Have you ever experienced a moment when someone who passed away felt close again? A sign? A message? A strange coincidence that felt like more? Share your story in the comments below. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Your experience might help another grieving heart remember that love never truly dies. Blue heart, and if the story reminded you to cherish the people in your life, do something special. Call someone you love today, visit a place that holds precious memories, look at old photos, and smile. Instead of cry, help a stranger in honor of someone you lost. Teach your children that grief and joy can exist together. Because that's what Oliver's message really means. Live fully, love fiercely, never stop smiling. Your loved ones who've passed aren't just memories. They're still with you, still guiding you, still loving you from wherever they are. Honor them by choosing life. Share this story with someone who needs hope today. Comment below, what's one way you keep a loved one's memory alive? Let's build a community of healing together, one story at a time, one heart at a time, because love doesn't die. It just finds new ways to shine.